Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a look at Iotx and see kind of what's going on, of course, and dive deeper into Bitcoin too. Well, not super deep, but just a quick understanding so you know, because I get a lot of questions like, hey, is Bitcoin back on track? Well, in short, yeah, it looks like it, but long picture, big picture, if there is such a thing, it hasn't closed above the one-day candlestick yet, right? We still got about 7 to 10 hours left of trading, and ultimately, it's a little too early to tell. So I don't want to just say, hey, yeah, we're good to go. Start adding to your position. What I can say is that these areas between 56 and 58 and 52 to 54 are really good areas to add to your position. So in other words, dollar cost averaging is important when we have scenarios like this to try to get one last little nice buy in, if you will. So keep that in mind. Good value here right now, for lack of better terms, but don't put your entire bag in there because it's just probably not likely the bottom. That's my guess. Again, it's hard to say. There's no other indications here that we're bullish on Bitcoin for right now. Everything's pretty much bearish, so I'm still a little skeptical until we get some consolidation and or we just need more trading data. It's a little too early. So hopefully that helps you understand, just generally speaking, to proceed with caution, but dollar cost averaging is important. All right. So just before we jump into the one-day chart here, just note I'm not a financial advisor. This is always for educational purposes, but I don't just say that as a disclaimer. I say that because I love teaching people how to trade, right? That's why I have a trading community. Check that out in your own time, of course. A really awesome group of folks. I send out signals for every single trade that I take, so you can kind of follow along if you'd like to see what it's like to be, day in life of a trader. How do I structure my my trades, right? I do this every single day for a living, so I can assure you you're in good hands. I've been trading for over 15 years, and my goal is to help you become a more self-sufficient trader. So check that out in your own time. Now on the one-day chart here, we can kind of see pretty obvious that the price is above both moving averages. Those don't matter much. We're above 50 and below 70 in the RSI, also good. We have this potential bearish divergence on the MACD. I don't put a tremendous amount of weight into the one-day candlestick, or sorry, the one-day chart, MACD convergence or divergence rather. I don't think that's like a sign that the price is going to come crashing down. It looks that way because of the simple fact that on this time frame there's been so much higher higher highs and bigger pushes up that it's inevitable for the price to come back down, right? That's traditionally how it works. I don't think Iotx is going to lose any momentum here though, based on the last 24 hours and just in general, we are still well within the range of this lower Fibonacci retracement area. So I'll explain what I mean by that here in a moment. But let's take a quick look at the 4-hour, work our way down. So on the 4-hour chart, we can see, right, price is below the simple moving average 50. It's above the 200 SMA. So this is actually perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but it is holding the price action in place, or it's having difficulty passing that point. And what that's doing, that's just reaffirming the fact that there's a resistance level at about 19.7 cents still. Okay, so that's still resistance. We got to respect that. So what could happen, the price may likely come down to 18 cents and bounce, or it could just consolidate and continue to squeeze in between these two lines here and essentially break out to the upside. And I say eventually because it's hard to say specifically what will happen. So, because here's a key takeaway here. That's why we look at Bitcoin first, right? We've already identified that Bitcoin's been on the downslide for about 4 trading days. If you look at this time frame here, we can see the 4 trading days here where the first initial decrease from Bitcoin, and then Iotx fought back, right? And then it comes down. This is that dead cat from Bitcoin that we thought the price was going to bottom out at 60. It kept going. Therefore, if you look at that little, just the way this performed recently based on Bitcoin behavior, you can tell it's fairly reliant on Bitcoin doing well. Okay, another thing you got to understand too is that this November 10th right here, this range right here, is right when Bitcoin sold off for the first time. So look, Iotx ramps up, consolidates, all normal, ramps up, consolidates. It would have continued to do this if it wasn't for Bitcoin selling off, right? But now that Bitcoin sold off, there's indecision in the market. Iotx is not quite sure what it wants to do, and it's kind of trying to find its average true range. And the average true range is basically just taking the amount of volume in the recent, trading days and figuring out where it spends the most time. Right now, its average true range is really close to about 19, or you could round up and say 20 cents. So in the last, just say what, 2 weeks of trading, we've seen 20 cents as a pretty strong average. That's reaffirming the fact that that is a potential resistance level. Obviously, that's right there where the price is at too. So no coincidence the price is getting rejected by that. But also reaffirms the fact that that's what people established as a good value for this coin. Right, at least in the last two weeks, that's essentially what you're looking at. So that being said, with Bitcoin selling off and all that stuff happening, it's no surprise where the price is where it's at right now because of those things. So you got to respect the fact that Bitcoin is controlling Iotx to an extent. it doesn't just go independent of Bitcoin, right? Everything is reliant on it to an extent. Even the sandbox engines, Cadenas, those are all still reliant in a way. You just got to identify how it responds to Bitcoin sell-offs. If it keeps going sideways when Bitcoin's selling off, then it's all good. But if it keeps having lower lows and lower highs like we're seeing right now, that's a bit of a concern. So to me, I'm not really super bullish on the micro for Iotx. I think that it has potential to recover, but I think it's getting held down by that resistance of the volume profile, as well as the simple fact that Bitcoin hasn't truly broken out or recovered yet. Until we see 60,000 plus closing on the one-day candlestick for our Bitcoin, I don't think Iotx is going to break out. That's just my personal opinion, but we'll see here soon, of course. I hope I'm wrong. I love being wrong when it's situations like these, right? There's nothing wrong with that. All right, so let's just take a quick look at a couple things and we'll call it a day. Looking at the, obviously, Ichimoku cloud, where below that, that's considered tremendously as a resistance level. So in other words, should hold the price down closer to 18 cents is my speculation. If it breaks above, we just say we got a MACD convergence in the 4-hour chart, different story. But right now, Bitcoin's getting held down by 58,000 and Iotx is getting held down by 19.7. There's that correlation. There's that synonymous behavior between these coins. So you can kind of see that. And that's a great thing about Fibonacci retracement lines. They help us identify that if you establish them correctly. You can see how these coins communicate indirectly. And the ones that break free from that are the ones you want to invest in. That's why we opened a position in our trading community for Mana and Engine Coin recently, because they're both taking off contrary to how well Bitcoin was doing in the last 5 days. All right, so let's just go ahead and look at TD sequential. Not much to note there. We're pretty much at a state of consolidation. We did hit an 8, so it makes sense for the price to go sideways here right now. So it's basically just consolidating. What we could see happen, because this could just be like a traditional ascending wedge pattern where the price just continues to work its way in and break up. It may not shoot straight high, but it really just depends on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin has the same type of breakout, which I believe it's actually shaping up to be a very similar pattern, what do you know, same pattern, then we'll see Iotx take off, right? We'll see it break off. But for now, again, depending on how Bitcoin is behaving, we're going to continue to see this type of this type of price action. Very last thing we want to look at would be, I guess, prediction, so to speak, because everyone wants to hear that regardless of how well a coin is doing. So I would say best case scenario, we're looking still at 37 cents, but I no longer feel like we're going to hit that by month end. Okay, let me rephrase that. We will hit that by month end if Bitcoin pulls its head out of its ass, right? If Bitcoin goes from 60,000 to 65,000 in the next week, then yeah, Iotx will break that. It'll take off. Most altcoins will do something similar. But for right now, if Bitcoin keeps going sideways for some time and just keeps on, twiddling its thumbs and effectively continuing to decrease overall, then we're not going to see a lot of confidence in Iotx, and I don't think it's going to take off. My personal opinion. So what does that mean for you? Well, I say dollar cost average. That's pretty much the right solution in scenarios like this. When Bitcoin goes down, other coins don't know what to do. Add to your position, keep doing so, but don't add your whole bag, right? Don't take, your 5,000 USDT and put it right in there right now. No, take 10% of that and add it. Tomorrow, take 10% more and add that. You want to be smart about this. And again, if you're going to be taking a trade, and I teach this to my community members, never take a trade without knowing what you want out of it. If you're going to jump into Iotx just arbitrarily right now and not know where you're going to get out, that's bad. That's bad behavior. Bad trader. Okay? Bad trader. You're not actually being a trader. You're being a gambler, right? Because a good trader has good risk tolerance, and you have to always set 3 profit targets at the very least, and have a trailing stop loss in place. Okay? Those are all fundamental things that you need to understand, that you need to do. And if you need a better understanding of how that works, I can definitely help you with that. I have a trading community designed for that purpose, right? Because again, I love teaching, I love helping people become better, but I hate to see these poor qualities happen all the time. When these other unfortunate, I guess YouTubers, you could say, just pumping up a coin, pump, with all their tweets and whistles and blowhorns and stuff. It doesn't help you at all. What helps you is real fundamentals and really good strategy and making sure you know what you want out of something before you get into it. Life works that way, right? You set a goal in life, you're going to get there. If you can't set goals, you're not going to go hit where you're at, right? Shoot for the moon, land in the stars. There's that whole analogy there, and it applies to trading. Sorry to get so passionate about that. I just want to make sure you understand that this is not a get rich quick thing. Some people get lucky, sure, but if you are smart about this, you can actually make real money with this, and it's not that hard if you can steel yourself and calm down and have a set of principles. All right, so that's enough. That's all I got here for you today. My prediction, again, 37 cents by month end if Bitcoin does well. Bitcoin continues to flail around. then we're probably not going to see a tremendous amount from Iotx soon because it's still discovering its average true range, which is right at 20 cents. Okay. That being said, I hope you have a great remainder of your day. Thanks again for joining me here. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.